Hey, what's up YouTube? My name's Cameron Dougherty here with another tech video. Today's video, we're going to be doing an unboxing of a brand new camera, the Canon M50 Mark II, which is my first true nice camera, and I'm super excited to use it to make some videos and take some photographs. Alright, so here it is, the Canon M50, and the first thing that I noticed when I looked at this is some unusual packaging. The very first thing I noticed was maybe not that great a packaging. So I'm hoping everything's all right in here, and we'll have to take a look at how well everything is put together. But I was a little confused because this is where you pull the tab out here, as you do in so many packages. So you'd expect that this would be the front, but it looks like they chose that to be the front, and really it's just not that much impressive packaging to begin with. So hopefully the camera's a little better than the packaging, but really let's find out. All right, lots of manuals and documentation. Coming in here. All right, so the first thing we have is the included strap. Seems like decent quality. It'll attach to either side so you can hold the camera around your neck. We have the battery. Pretty small there. Looks like a pretty standard camera battery. It is 7.2 volts, 875 milliamp hours. And it's lithium ion, rechargeable. And let's pull out this camera. So this is the main camera body. You can buy this camera as just the body for $600, or you can buy it with the kit lens that comes for $700. I went with the kit lens because I don't have lenses, so this will be my kind of starter kit here. All right, oh, this is exciting. So in today's world, it's not always easy to go to a store and try things out. So this is the first time I've held this in my hand, and I have to say it is smaller than I imagined. I knew that this was a relatively small camera, but I'm quite impressed at just how small it is. So it does have the flip out screen, which is going to be extremely useful for recording YouTube videos and being able to see yourself directly on it. You can also use that as a viewfinder on the back, or when it's not in use, close it up so that it doesn't get scratched or damaged. So that's a really nice feature. That was a must on whatever camera I wound up with, because I do plan on using it for the main camera here to replace the iPhone that's currently recording, and hopefully get a little bit better quality. Hopefully we're going to be getting some microphones and things like that to get some better audio, recording straight to it. So looking forward to all of those features. Another interesting one was having the microphone attachment on the top here. So this allows you to do sort of a shotgun mic setup so that you can get some good audio directly on here. Will give me some flexibility to be able to move around more easily, do some shoots in different locations in the house without having to bring a separate microphone along. I'm also going to be trying out in some future videos some lapel mics, so look out for those. Get subscribed if you're not, because we'll be looking at how that might change my setup and how I wind up going forward. So this is a mirrorless camera, which means when you're looking through the viewfinder here, rather than having mirrors that go to the lens, it is basically you're looking at a digital display, much like you are on the back screen here. In addition to that, it does have interchangeable lenses. These are I think they're called the mini version. So it is not the standard version that so many other cameras use, but it is a smaller standard version, if you will. There is an adapter you can buy so that you can attach any old DSLR lens to this camera. So that is nice and handy, and it seems like Canon has a very good ecosystem of lenses and also third-party lenses. So I'm looking forward to trying out some different lenses over time, in addition to just seeing how the kit lens is that comes included. So other things in the box. We've got the charger for the battery. So it looks like we've got a pop out there, and the battery just slides right in like so. So nice and simple, plug it right in, charge away, and I like that it folds away to make that easier for transport. If you're gonna be throwing it into a camera bag, so you're bringing it along on a trip, that'll be nice and handy. I think the last thing in here is the lens. So we'll get this out of the way here. So the kit lens for this camera is a 15 to 45 millimeter lens. It is very small. Like I said, I haven't handled this camera before, so this is all a first impression. But I'm surprised just how tiny this is. This is really cool. So let's put this on here. And put it on the right way. There we go. Beautiful. Very cool. Very much looking forward to exploring what this is like. So this is manual adjustment in the main ring here, going from 15 all the way up to 45 millimeters. There's also a focus ring around the outside in order to do manual focus. One of the big reasons why I went with this camera specifically was that lots of reviewers had noted how impressive the autofocus was. And so that's one thing when I'm going to be using the camera for segments like this and for other things associated with the channel. Having that autofocus, if I'm going to be moving around at all, if I'm going to be doing anything like that, will be extremely important. And I'm looking forward to having that ability. But I also want to get into more photography. I'll be going on my honeymoon in a few months and definitely using this to take some pictures in Hawaii, so looking forward to that. And going from the regular autofocus to being able to put it into a full manual mode, I think will be really fun to, just learn the ropes of taking photos, try to improve over time, and work through the motions there. So overall, I am impressed. So, I mean, this is pretty cool. I'm trying to figure out how this, okay. See, I'm learning already. So by default, it's in a locked state. There's a little knob here. And so if you pull up on that, you can turn it to get that opened up. And then you can go in between your different millimeter measurements for the different levels of zoom. And then when you're done with it, you just pull on that lever again. This circle lines up with a little line here to let you know that it's closed, and then it's back locked in place so that it won't open up in your bag or get damaged in any way. So that might be a completely standard camera thing, but like I said, I am new to this, so I'm learning on the fly. But very cool. I think it might be a little small for my hand. I think it might fit my fiance's hand a little bit better. I find that in the front here, the ergonomics are not that great. I'm, by default, I actually wind up, so my thumb here winds up covering part of the picture if I'm holding it naturally. So then I got to kind of contort my hand a little bit to make that work. So we'll see how that goes when I start actually getting out and taking some photos with this. But yeah, from there, we will see. Other features, let me put this on before I wind up scratching the lens. So other features, so we already talked about the mount here for a microphone. That connects over on the side here. So this little door has a headphone jack there to connect the microphone as an input. You can also use that connecting a lapel mic, for example, with a cord, and you can use that to record direct to the audio track for the camera. On the other side, you have an HDMI as well as a USB. Not really sure what the USB is for, to be completely honest. I will have to look up exactly what that does. If you know, let me know down in the comments. That'd be really helpful. And the HDMI is a newer feature where you can have a clean HDMI output, so nothing on, none of the information on the screen, and so you could use this camera for streaming or something like that, where you want to go direct into a video source or straight into a display with a live view of what's coming through the camera. It looks like a button here to control Wi-Fi. On the top, we have an on-off switch, the knob to control auto, manual, different picture modes, video mode, etc. Camera, just, you know, shutter button, zoom, navigation here. It also does have the touch screen. And then on the bottom here, we have a little slider to open up for the battery. We can see whether this has any juice. And so it looks like we go just in like that. Slide it in. We got a little tab here. Looks like you just release that to take it out. And the SD card slot is also right next to the battery there. We can close that up. Let's see if it's got any juice. So it does, comes right on. And yeah, so let's get this set up. All right, so got the basics set up, date and time, things like that. Once it does boot up, it does actually give you a nice little instruction. If you're like me and don't know what you're doing, you do get this little indicator here that tells you to press this, this small triangle and then twist in order to enable the camera. And then once you do that, should be seeing it coming up there. And so, nice little explanation for the thing that I was actually able to figure out, luckily. But now we can see the menu options here, shooting settings, playback settings for video and photos, Wi-Fi settings, functions, display settings. So all things that I'll be exploring, and I'll definitely report back on what I think and anything that I find it interesting. Don't have a memory card in right now, so I can't take any photos at the moment, but all in all, I think pretty cool. I'm very much looking forward to having, rather than just an iPhone that I'm looking at with no visual of if I'm in frame, if I'm off-centered, anything like that, looking forward to having the ability to have that reference point directly in front of me, having the ability to attach the microphones, having the nice autofocus, and also Canon's color that people have talked up a lot. iPhones do a great job, and I've really not had too much of a complaint. The only issue we've had really is the iPhone 12 Pro, which does do some funky things with the color in this room every once in a while. If you go back and look at, I think some of like maybe our first 2 videos or so, there's a little bit of a washed out look on some of them, which was something that just took some tweaks in the settings. I think ultimately it came down to some of the new functions that were then when I was bringing it into DaVinci Resolve were causing issues. Regardless, looking forward to the color science on the Canon camera, using that with DaVinci Resolve, getting a little bit more into the color grading and learning as I go there. And yeah, we'll see how all of that progresses. So this is the Canon M50 Mark II, which is going to be my first camera for YouTube outside of my phone. And yeah, we'll see how that all goes. So appreciate you watching. If you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing and following along this journey as we explore new tech and have reviews, tutorials, all sorts of things. If you enjoyed the video, if you liked seeing kind of a new person's first look at their new camera, then please hit that thumbs up. And yeah, if you enjoy what you see, remember that those likes are free and the subs don't cost anything either. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.